If you're in the ER and a patient is crashing, the last thing you should be focused on is documentation. Yet, so many new nurses feel the pressure to chart everything immediately, even when life saving interventions are waiting. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to balance charting with patient care so you never let documentation get in the way of saving a life. You'll learn what must be charted ASAP and how to catch up efficiently without staying hours after your shift with the list of essential charting points that you can follow. I was right there with you when I was new, worried about documentation while trying to keep up with patient care. But I'll show you how experienced nurses handle this so you can build confidence and work more efficiently in the ER. I know how overwhelming the ER can be for new nurses. I've been in your shoes. That's why I created this channel along with our book and course to help you build confidence and take the ER with certainty. If you'd like to check them out, you'll find the links in the pinned comment or description. So a common mistake new ER nurses make is stressing over charting so much that it gets in the way of patient care. But here's the reality. Charting doesn't save lives. Your actions do. If a patient is crashing, struggling to breathe, or needs urgent medications, the last thing you should be focused on is typing in the chart, documenting. Experienced nurses know this instinctively. You act first, you chart later. Documenting won't save someone from dying. Now, don't get me wrong, charting is important for legal reasons and continuity of care, but it should never come before a life-saving intervention. Your priority should always be the patient in front of you, not the computer screen. Now, this isn't to say charting isn't important. It absolutely is, but you need to know when you can chart and when you can't chart in that moment. Because again, charting doesn't save lives, your actions do. So let's go over some situations where documentation takes a back seat. If a patient is hypotensive, your priority is starting the fluids ordered, not typing in the computer. If someone is actively seizing, your priorities are giving the Ativan, perhaps starting the Keppra, before worrying about documentation. The same thing if the patient has an STEMI, your job is to get the medications like a heparin infusion on board before you even sit down to chart. Other critical situations can include CHF exacerbations if the patient has a nitroglycerin drip ordered. If the patient is a stroke patient and they got to get to CT, you better prioritize getting them to CT. And if the patient is struggling to breathe, get them on oxygen before you ever document. Every time, patient care comes first before charting. And of course, there are moments when you drop the charting that you're working on immediately. For example, if your patient starts crashing, seizing, coding, a severe change in vital signs, the computer screen should be the last thing on your mind. Prioritize action, chart later. So if you're focusing on patient care first, how do you make sure that you still document everything later, right? So if you're focusing on the patient, but you know that documentation is still important, how do you make sure that you still document everything later? This is where a simple piece of paper becomes your best tool in the ER. When things get busy, like when a patient is crashing, you don't have time to stop and chart every detail in the moment. Instead, write down the time and a quick keyword to remind yourself of what happened. For example, if a patient starts seizing at 1400 and you give Ativan, just write 1400 / seizure, Ativan. If you start fluids at 1430, write 1430, fluid started. If they go to CT at 1445, just jot it down. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to be enough to trigger your memory later on when you're charting. The key is to always prioritize stabilizing the patient first. Once the situation is under control, you can go back, you can check your notes and document accurately without struggling to remember every detail because you jotted everything down as you were going, as you were doing the interventions that are going to make a difference in your patient's outcomes. Now, if your patient is stable and only non-urgent tasks are pending, this is your chance to quickly knock out some of your charting. These non-urgent tasks can include routine orders, maintenance infusions, or even basic vitamins that sometimes the patients get. But if you've fallen behind, don't panic. Just work through the essentials first. The most important things to document are going to be the medications given, the vital signs, assessments, procedures, provider communications, and the patient's responses to treatments. Safety measures should also be noted. If you're feeling like you forgot something, use the checklist to go down the key points. It'll help ensure you don't miss any critical documentation. And remember, if the patient is stable and there's no immediate interventions needed, it's okay to chart a little bit to chart in real time. Things like the basic vitamins, routine orders, starting a quick maintenance fluids can be documented. Can be done in a little while you finish your essential documentation first. But when in doubt, patient care comes first, documentation is second. Because I know how it is to have some critical patients that were just recently intubated. You have to put a Foley, an NG tube, take him to CT and so forth. Maybe they're a brain bleed or they have to go to IR or get a drain placed at bedside. You will get busy. But when you sit down, have this list in mind. What are the medications that were given, especially if your patient's on sedative medications like propofol and fentanyl, or if they're on norepinephrine, vasopressin, and you've been titrating some of them. That's where your paper comes in. You'll write the time and you'll say norepinephrine titrated to this. Norepinephrine, this new titration, so that when you go back and you get a chance to chart everything, you already have it down on your paper. And I know it sucks. No one wants to stay late after a long ER shift just to finish charting. But if you're new, sometimes this is going to be unavoidable. Even if you're using a piece of paper to track key events and following a checklist, you might still need extra time to make sure everything is properly documented. The good news, it doesn't last forever. As you gain experience, you'll naturally become faster and more efficient at balancing charting with patient care. Eventually, you'll reach a point where you're getting it all done within your shift with plenty of time at the end. So if you find yourself staying late at first, don't stress. It's just part of the learning curve. Keep at it, and over time, you're going to get into your own rhythm that works for you. The ER can feel overwhelming, especially when you're new. I know how tough it is, trying to keep up, worrying about making mistakes, and feeling like you're always behind. That's exactly why I created these resources to help you gain confidence and take control faster. Our book is your go-to guide for essential ER knowledge, designed to give you exactly what you need without the fluff or overwhelm. It covers the most important ER concepts, including triage, ABCs, advanced life support, and critical emergency conditions, all explained in a clear, easy-to-digest format. Our course includes the book and takes your knowledge even further with step-by-step video lessons, efficient charting strategies to protect your license, and practice tests to reinforce your learning. It also includes real-world scenarios to sharpen your critical thinking and decision-making skills so you're prepared for high-pressure situations. If you're ready to feel more confident in the ER, grab the book or enroll in the course today. You can also access the course by joining the channel. Just click join. Links are in the pinned comment section or in the description below. And as always, teamwork makes the dream work. And here at Emergency Chaos, we are proactive, not reactive.